So I am a soul fork. What that means is from non-physical energy, so most people in the planet, they're non-physical energy that is projected forth into a physical human body.
Uh-huh.
I am non-physical energy that is projected forth into an Arcturian body, an
Uh-huh.
extraterrestrial body. Now
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that extraterrestrial being has chosen to then project forth as a human body 12 times. This is the 12th incarnation.
Okay.
And it's quite funny, ironically, because before I even came down, there was an entire panel of beings, Arcturian beings, six-dimensional beings,
Mm-hmm.
who even chose the way I would look in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know why?
Yeah, of course.
So I came down here with the intention of reaching people on every single continent. And to do that,
And yeah.
human beings, they like to pay attention to what's attractive, right? But based on where you are geographically, certain things are attractive and certain things are unattractive. So a really beautiful woman down in Africa might come up here to the US and be considered pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a certain type of traits, physical traits, which make a person attractive on every single continent. And so even before I came here, it's not like my looks are so gorgeous to one demographic over another demographic. It's that there will not be a person on the
Mm-hmm.
planet, regardless of what country you go to, that does not perceive some level of attractiveness. Thus, they'll pay attention. It's sort of funny to feel like I'm a giant science project, but this is also the reason why I came down and experienced what I did as a child, is because of the fact that humanity was asking to connect with a way, basically channelers, right, have been telling them how the universe works, but most people listen to channelers and say, well, that wouldn't work for me because they don't know what it's like to be in that kind of a situation. So what I chose to do basically is pick the kind of life that is the worst kind of life that a human being could experience and get myself out of it and then teach other people how to do it. I can't do that unless I experience it. The issue is that if you are a match to thinking that you're the only one, which most people are, even if you were in the same room as another extraterrestrial, you wouldn't see them. That is how extreme I am talking when I'm saying you create your own reality. If you expect that extraterrestrial life can't exist, then you will never, ever, ever perceive them, literally. So most extraterrestrial species can very easily cloak themselves behind the natural laws of this universe. The human species is a bit like an ant who's convinced that the only reality is the wood floor. The ant cannot know about France. But yes, there's a great many species that have lived in your solar system, that currently do live in your solar system.
You are saying your. It's not yours as well.
No,
Why did you use? Yeah, because you didn't use our. You used your. So that was.
it's because the information, you will see me switch back and forth between yours and ours. When I am
Uh,
speaking to you from the so that basically the portion, I'll be speaking to a lot of people based on my experience as a child. When I do that, I will be speaking to you from the human perspective. Because it's not like I am only an alien perspective in a human meat suit, right? I'm now 3 points of perspective. Most people are two.
uh-huh,
Most people are the higher self and their human perspective. 2 points of
uh-huh,
perspective. I'm three. Human, extraterrestrial, and
uh-huh,
non-physical.
uh-huh.
So I will talk to you from one of three of these perspectives. It's not considered channeling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not considered channeling because channeling basically is just turning yourself, I should say, allowing yourself to become like a radio antenna that's
Uh-huh.
receiving a channel.
Mhm.
So just like a radio receives 98.2 FM.
Mhm.
So you're basically allowing yourself to bring that energy through your physical body, but that is not the same thing because all beings, I won't beat around the bush. Every being in existence can channel.
Mhm.
As humans, I almost said you again. Humans are antennas. Beings, living beings, physical beings are antennas. So you can channel. But what I'm basically doing is I can shift literally straight into the frequency of this being versus this being and become it.
Mm-hmm.
So this information isn't like I am tuning into it and then becoming it. It's like, how do I describe the difference? There's a difference between, okay, so let's take a classic channeler. Do you think most people watching will understand Abraham Hicks?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
They seem to be the most popular here because they are the most accurate.
They are pretty funny and
Yeah, and they're the most accurate. So if you want, it's a really high vibratory being. I like them. Somebody's listening to me like a year ago and said, "Oh my God, your stuff reminds me so much of Abraham Hicks." I'm like, "Who's Abraham Hicks?" And I went and started looking him up, and I love him to death. So,
do you know Bashar? Bashar?
I haven't watched much of his stuff, but I do know. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take Abraham Hicks, right?
Uh-huh.
Esther, in her day-to-day life, right, is not like Abraham. She's got problems with the floor, right? She's got problems in her day-to-day life. As is obvious, I mean, you watch her life, the fact that her husband died from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Esther and Jerry are still physical humans that are able to channel the vibration of Abraham. I am more like the physical expression of this energy. So if Abraham was to come down and be able to physically manifest, that's what I'm like.